for both of these squads. NIP, OG, and we're live into the pistol.
So we are. Ancient coming up. It's NIP on the CT side with OG on the T side. And again, a bit of a lean towards the B bomb side. Not too surprising. Although, you know, maybe a little bit more towards mid and A than we normally see in these pistol rounds. Alexi up with the dualies, flashed in. That's a really cool idea, but unfortunately, OG are a little bit further back, and they hear that setup, and they're like, you know what? We don't really want to test that again. Instead, they're going to divert and head towards the donut position. Hampus is here, and he's going to get overrun. So that is a great 4 versus 1 fight. Brolin there with a headshot. S-tag as well, hiding behind that big box, and finally, he's going to be brought down, and maybe a chance here for OG for a really swift bomb plant.
Yeah, really nice kill on Hampus for OG, and obviously the gush on a Brolin breaks up that crossfire. Dualies now for Alexi, and Fiku walks right into it. Nice double headshot, and it's all on Dexter. And he's gone as well.
Yeah, the dualies cleaning up the round. I don't think they knew how close that NIP team was coming into Donut. It didn't seem like once the bomb was planted that anyone on the OG side realized that there was someone walking up behind them.
Yeah, they were very much just kind of running on default, just being like, yeah, I'll go back into Donut and I'll watch the flank. And yeah, the timing just not there, as you mentioned. You're exactly right. Good double kill for Alexi coming in. A little bit of luck goes his way with Fiku strafing right into it.
Not to say that this is what OG should have done, but this is exactly the kind of round yesterday that we saw Heroic would keep playing for a lot longer. Instead of planting the bomb straight away, even in the 3-on-3, they would have been like, let's try and push ET spawn and see if we can, you know, keep this going, right?
Yeah, let's push back the defense so we know where the boundaries are in the post plan, and let's make sure we're comfortable before we get that bomb down. I think it works a little bit different in pistols, obviously, too.
Yeah, that's a good point. It could be a little bit more tricky. Now, behind the bomb plant, they're going to go straight into this round. They're actually really well equipped. 2 Galils, 1 AK, couple of Deagles, and they definitely know, if they didn't already, NIP hearing that AK ring out from the...
Yeah, I mean, you have to expect this kind of a buy in today's Counter-Strike, so NIP going to be heads up. Brolin dump some defensive utility, HE grenade, and now a smoke to delay things. Fiku and Flame starting to move forward to challenge towards A, but they actually just clear out any aggression. Want to make sure there's no CTs pushed up, and they back off away from the fight.
And they still have a lot of their own utility in play on the OG side, so waiting around for the first, you know, half minute, probably a good idea just to make sure that you're not running into too much trouble. Classic boost. Sometimes this position does get Molotov, so you got to be a little bit careful now, but if you just smoke it instead, that's not going to do anything. They could look right over it. Rez, no Deagle connecting with him, so he's still going to be fine. 40 seconds, you know, and they're going to fall off the boost. And actually, that might have been hurt on the OG side, so got to be a little bit tricky. Smoke goes down. They have another Molotov behind it. This is really running the clock down low. That one Molotov now in Alexi could be a real big problem, although the opening is pretty good as they take down Brolin. Dexter finding that one. They're slowed down, but the Molotov's not going to last as long as the smoke, so... Oh no, that went into the wall. That's not going to slow anyone down. 14 seconds. If that had gone onto the ramp, that might have been the round almost right then and there. They're going to find Alexi through the smoke. Hampus wants to try and win the round, but he's stopped. Neofrag will get the kill, and with all the bullets in that Galil, he'll find a third one, an S-tag as well. That is a very, very close round. In spite of the fact that 5 people are alive at OG, this could have gone wrong 10 different ways.
Yeah, but I mean, it's super impressive for OG to be able to break in, even with that Molotov down. The perfect utility position, smokes in the choke points to negate the entire defense, and no one from NIP. They had 3 players at that point of the hit, and they couldn't find a way to work together. That second Molotov from Alexi, ooh, that's a rough miss.
And I think the smoke made it so that he couldn't really see where the wall was, and he just, you know, I wonder how close he was to actually hitting it, because that really would have slowed them down. But they'll take it. OG don't care about Nip's troubles.
Neofrag, a player that Maniac mentioned as somebody he'd like to see step up.
Yeah.
For purely selfish reasons. He has him on his fantasy team, obviously.
Okay.
But it all counts.
This analyst desk, lying about mini-golf, promoting their own fantasy teams.
I know.
A lot going on here today.
It was real narcissistic this morning.
Yeah. All right. Well, glad that we're here to call them out, Jason. That's good.
Yeah. Someone has to do it.
Third round. M4A1 on the side of Rez. Some pistols to follow up. There's 5.7s. Didn't get touched in the update. They're really lethal.
Ooh. All right.
He's ready. He's warmed up.
Yeah, that's an opening kill. That's quite nice from Neofrag. 5-on-4. And with that kill in middle, the defense has to back away. This is something we saw as well have huge impact yesterday on Ancient is mid control from the CT side. If you can actually maintain that, if you can actually take it. NIP struggled against Heroic's mid control and mid presence on their T side. Here, OG's doing a good job, at least in round number 3, of forcing it back. Gives you a lot more room to work with, a lot more space to move around the map. And OG's taking it very patiently, looking for the information play.
Especially on the CT side, if you have those protocols like FaZe do, where they want to play aggressively with Rain and Karrigan, you kind of need some mid control to be able to do that for extended periods of time. So curious if NIP are going to be bringing that into the match once they get some more rifles in play and obviously some more utility. Seems like it's going to be a lean, so they've just left one player over outside of the B bomb site, which is fine.
And this is the long rotation for OG from B to back to the A bomb site, so it's actually given STAG and Hampus a little bit of an indication, because they're just like, oh, there's nothing happening on the map. It's just been a long time of silence, so the M4 is going to be positioned here. STAG and Hampus have a chance.
Especially up close with the 5-7. Look at the headshots coming through. STAG. That is absolutely picture perfect. Double kill for him, and Hampus will follow it up, and the round is dead. That is exactly like you painted it. A little bit too slow, buying enough time for the CTs to rotate in and getting that crucial M4. And obviously, within that one-shot range of the 5-7, and that destroyed OG in this round.
Yeah, they went way too passive on the map. There was no presence being established and kind of held on to in middle. There was no presence outside the B bomb site. It was one player lurking. There's no attention anywhere else on the map, and NIP's just like, okay, well, we have kind of eyes on middle. We have people close enough to know if this is where you're coming. So now that we don't see anything, let's back off to the A bomb site. Hampus spots a smoke coming over as well. Just the perfect moment to step back up into the bomb site. Him and STAG win a wonderful round. Back and forth affair in the opening 3 rounds of Ancient.
For OG, I mean, it's still pretty early on. Ooh, nice shot through the smoke. Flames trying to see if he could play around that a little bit, but Hampus is going to find him. I was going to say, I mean, you get the opening kill from Neofrag with the Galil in middle on Rez in the previous round. You want to build a lot more than that. That round falls so flat, and they don't really even accomplish anything. That's hard to deal with. Hopefully we don't get to see more of that out of OG, because they've let NIP back in the game a little bit early.
Ooh, smoke down. That's from Rez. Brolin and Alexi boosted up.
I still feel like this is very likely going to get Molotov. I feel like we've been seeing that a lot more. Especially if Neofrag is going to go for this peek. Oh, he just does it. Takes down Brolin anyway, in spite of the boost. But if you throw a Molotov from the other side, you can actually force the CTs to commit to that fight.
Yeah, during the execute, we see it quite frequently. Not so much just to clear things out. Brolin's going to be frustrated he didn't win that battle. Neofrag's given the MAC-10, and he's just got to watch the flank. 2 HP, he has no use. But NIP have all 4 players here. Everyone is ready to battle.
Yep, they've gambled, and they're not wrong either. Alexi with a good double. Oh, it's a team kill in the middle of it. They stepped on top of each other. And with 4 players already at the bomb site, there was just an endless battle, which in itself just is very hard. Coming in, you don't have a good count of the numbers when you're coming in. You feel like you've already taken like 2 fights and won them, but there's like more people showing up all the time.
And look at the contrast from yesterday. This is one thing we touched on. OG not at the level of Heroic in terms of their mid-round calling. So this is back-to-back rounds where NIP yesterday in the mid-rounds when things went quiet, they were getting lurked on in middle. They were getting challenged. They had no idea where to rotate, getting pulled between the bomb sites. Here, they've had 2 great reads in the late rounds. They figured it out in those middle portions of quiet time as OG like repositions themselves for a hit. NIP is able to put bodies at the point of contact. Over the A bomb site we go.
They also maybe just don't even have the fear of having to sort of think too much about it. So yeah, a lot of positive signs for NIP at the moment.
That should change in the next round, obviously, as the losing bonus builds up for OG. They're going to be getting what, $2,400 after this round, so more AK-47. Still won't have that op out on Dexter, which is going to be a big factor in this series.
Yeah, that's
in theory.
It should be, yeah. That's a bit unfortunate. I was going to say maybe they could run and try and get the bomb plant, but now that Rez has shown up, it's looking very unlikely.
Yeah, STAG was playing retake, so there was a moment of opportunity where even with just unarmored Glocks, they might have been able to get in, but now it should just be a loadout. STAG with 4, and Rez takes the last one. Oh, and he don't give a duck.
Why would he?
Yeah. Good for him.
I've come to appreciate over the years, I think consistency for STAG is actually just really high. I feel like He's obviously not in a position on this team, and I don't think he really has been on any of the teams that he's been on to sort of play the star role. But in situations like these, or you know, just in any kind of situation where you feel like you have to get at least one kill here, S-Tag is a really reliable player for that kind of thing. So,
ooh, that flashbang is perfectly timed when Hampus wants to turn the corner. He was turning the corner with an HE grenade as well, so just gets completely neutralized. But that smoke's a little bit awkward, gives Alexi an angle, gives Rez an angle in middle. And OG is harassed enough to where this mid control, this mid presence is not working out.
And Dexter wanted to fight that in spite of the Molotov. And he's going to be going down. Brolin in here. Finds the headshot. Has to jiggle a little bit for it, but it'll work out in the end. And Nexter and Fiku, what do you do at this point? 2 versus 4. You have a lot of time, so probably just look for some kills, move around the map, hope you catch somebody. But other than that, you're in a lot of trouble here. And for NIP, I mean, if they can get out with 4 rifles alive, what a luxury to start this first half with.
Oh, for sure. Nex is going to slide across middle.
They're getting a little bit of space here, where NIP don't know too much. But when you're 2 men up like this, it doesn't really matter as much.
I think the only way that, in my mind, the only way that OG can actually win this round at this point is if they're just both doubled up together and actually push forward and challenge the spawn stairs towards where S-Tag's position is. Like, you're not, I think if you go towards one of the bomb sites, the idea that NIP can just play it so passively, you have to challenge here in middle, because you know this is where there's going to be like maybe a weak defender of just one player who's got to be a little bit aggressive for information. And obviously now just shut down. It was always going to be a tough affair. Fiku's left with 17 seconds.
Yeah, they heard him jumping in there and they wanted to try and see if they could surprise him. And I'm pretty sure he was jumping to try and bait out anyone wanting to peek anyway. So a little bit of a game going on both sides. Fiku going to wait out the round. It'll be a 5-1 scoreline in favor of NIP to start this off with, which is, yeah, really nice. That's the kind of beginning you want on the CT side of Ancient, obviously. And they're getting it at least for now. We'll see how long it's going to last. But yeah, this mid-fight initially favoring OG, but then kind of dragged out a little bit longer.
It favored OG with that initial battle, but they were never able to actually get out of that choke point and turn the corner in middle. I mean, Alexi shut it down, and then Rez is spamming into the smoke, so I mean, you never got any kind of reward for that opening kill from OG. And just a constant utility barrage. So first time out called from OG as they want to talk things over early. Round number 7, a 4-round lead for NIP. And OG has this one saved AK-47. You imagine some Deagles and Tech 9's going to come out on the rest of the players.
He had the angle where you cannot see fucking headshot.
I'm very curious to see how that's going to be playing out with just the one AK. I mean, a classic thing that people tend to look for a lot is obviously just that ramp over at the B bomb site. Sometimes if you get there early, if you get the spawn for it, you can challenge the CTs, and then maybe they're just not ready for it. So we'll see. Yeah, Deagles for the rest of it. And Fiku in charge, still have that AK. Going to be bringing it over to the A side instead. Nexus down here, but smoked off, and a lot of map control taken by NIP at the start of the round. Yeah,
luxuries they didn't have yesterday on Ancient. But this time, obviously, it's going to benefit them massively. Okay, we'll find that kill for no good reason.
That's all the way through the smoke.
Yeah, he didn't see anything at all. He just kind of slid into the smoke and took some shots and gets rewarded. Now, this is a big duel. Fiku can win this one clean and quick. There's an opportunity, and he's done exactly that. He can shift in. There's no smokes. And Fiku is really the only one here. Flames is coming up, but Fiku continues his tear, and he reads the third player. Oh, this is filthy. And now a real chance for NIP.
Especially with Neofrag on the other side. They might be able to sneak on, and he finds the headshot on Rez across the map. And now they escape Alexi now. He knows he has to basically win this fight right now before Neofrag gets here, and he can't do it. Flames shooting him in the back. But this round is all Fiku all the way.
Yeah, this has got to be a gut punch for NIP, because you've played this half so well. Look at this little ratty shot. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, you've played this half so well at the moment, and then just one AK-47. Fiku just steps up and challenges, find a weak point in the defense, keeps applying pressure. That's a beautiful round. And that time is kind of the concept you mentioned on the pistol round. This time, I mean, Fiku with the only rifle, so it's kind of out of desperation. Keeps pushing forward, right? Keeps creating more space.
Yeah, I think that shows a really, really good understanding. Wanted to see, but the flashbang's going over just a little bit late. Not going to work out. Dexter, though, keeps charging forward with the AWP, and he's going to take down Brolin to start with, but there's nobody at the B bomb site.
Yeah, well, Alexi got that kill in middle, right? So now they're like, oh, okay, one of the B defenders is actually not even here. We can apply a little bit more pressure. We can move forward a little bit more, but it's all gone horribly wrong. Alexi comes back on the flank and still shores up the defense, and the bomb was far, far back. They had to secure the B bomb site before he was going to arrive, and now OG's just locked in.
Yeah, they are. S-Tags pushed out so deep. This looks like truly an unwinnable round from the point of view of OG. If NIP play this one cool and they wait for S-Tag to show up. Oh, there we go. Rez, just as the smoke was fading, going to be taking down Fiku. Leaves Nexa with a full 360 type fight. They're coming from every angle. It's going to be Hampers to take the first fight and win it as well. 6-2 and a great recovery for NIP. Losing that last round, that's really painful, but keeping 4 people alive and you know, getting right back on track, that's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, basically saying the last round was just a hiccup. It wasn't really a sign of things to come. Another good job from NIP in middle to hold on to things, and Alexi's playing a solid game so far. He's been really dynamic out of the Jaguar position. 6-2, another timeout called. Again from OG as they talk things over. Dexter's going to have an op in hand, plenty of AK-47s to fight with, and another chance for OG to get back on the board.
And obviously it's very hard, I guess, to say from the outside, but what you pointed out about Alexi being in the middle in the last round, it would have been fun to see OG sort of pull the trigger on that B attack and just say, okay, we have a little bit of information, we're going to act on it. But obviously sometimes, like, it's hard to do in the middle of a round, I guess.
I think there were two things that held him back. One is Dexter was kind of the point man on that situation with the AWP and probably didn't want to try and just enter in with the op out of cave. That would have been that'd be a very difficult prospect if someone's there.
But it's Dexter.
Yeah, and I mean that would be that'd be the risk reward, right? That's the risk you take with that kind of a play. But also they weren't aligned on the map. The bomb was still far back. They weren't like really ready to capitalize on it in any meaningful way.
Nexa has 0 kills and 7 deaths, so maybe not exactly what you'd want to see, even if we're only like halfway through the first half. It
was funny listening to him in that roundtable with Banks and in-game leaders. Actually, hold the phone for a moment. We're looking like we're going to get some action here. We'll come back to that point. Rez holding the off angle. Ooh, oh no, there's a gap.
There is. Just as he was rotating back, he was holding the angle for a good long while.
Rez was lucky that it didn't swing wide, though.
Yeah, that would have got him killed.
I was gonna say, well, it was funny listening to him because he has like the Nexa, like just talking about the eternal problem of an in-game leader. He's just like, I've tried to not be an in-game leader like 3 times. I don't want to do this, but here I am. They keep pulling me back in, and that's how so many of the good in-game leaders over the years have gotten their start, is just forced into the role by the fact that they're the best man for the job, not exactly that they want to do it, and somehow develop into something special. Nexa still working his way along that path.
Yeah, at some point you just have to embrace it, but it is a thankless job in many ways. 6-2, 9th round, and we're seeing another execute onto the bomb side, this time at a 5-on-3. They set themselves up very nicely for this OG, and surely, even if NIP have all shown up on the other side, they're smoked out of the bomb site, they shouldn't really have a good chance of winning this one, and through the smoke, they're going to drop Roland, so now NIP should even be thinking about just saving the rifles here. You can stick around, but it could get really risky.
Ooh, a battle to save. Hampus with a double and drops a smoke and bails out. But as you mentioned, the risk is they lose the op. Rez hung around a little bit too long when that smoke faded, and OG have found a 3rd round out of the timeout. Good on them.
Yeah, and again, in light of the fact that this could be a very CT-sided map, you've got to say that 6-3 is still pretty respectable for OG. They're not really cruising yet, but then they could get there, even in this half.
Yeah, that's a great find from Dexter. That mid-smoke had a little bit of a gap in it that he got a toy with the scope. If I'm NIP, I don't know if I'm calling a timeout right now, maybe with this kind of slipping away, and obviously you have really running out of money now as well with the buy, so maybe you have a conversation here, but I just go back to that more aggressive, like mid-defense with the M4s, maybe the AWP. This round are passive. That space OG really exploited, but they haven't been able to handle your mid-pushes, so make them prove they can actually force you back and actually win those engagements when you're maintaining presence.
Yeah, they have a lot of options that they've yet to explore. I mean, some of those aggressive setups in the A hallway, they've had one round where S-Tag really pushed when they kind of knew that everyone was on the B side, and they had that double setup earlier with Rez hanging around out there, and Hampers, I think. So maybe there is some more. Yeah, they're back to it this time with 3 people, obviously. A more desperate situation here with the rifles that are in play for the CT side, but curious to see what NIP will actually be able to do. Oh, they put S-Tag up in this corner. We've seen that before. It could be hard to check. And I think OG realized that they were a bit aggressive, and probably that's going to be a call going through the team at that point. You're thinking, oh, wait a minute. Let's just slow this down and make sure that they're not pushing and doing anything crazy.
Dexter missed a shot. Dinked up as well by a P250. Oh, deep nade. This could be huge. He sees it coming. He jumps out of the way. Superficial damage, thankfully. Gonna drop back and get the bomb. But NIP have done a good job early on, at least winning the early engagement. And here comes the follow-up push.
Oh, he's so not ready for it. Wide swing, and they go for the second fight. Fiku trying to recover this round right now, but Hampus, he's got that M4 in the backline, and he's going to be able to take down Fiku. So this is falling apart way too quick for OG. They have to win this round. Hampus goes down, and now Neofrag with Flames going to try and see if they can recover this. Back turned and almost walked into the shot, but a little bit early there for Alexi with the USP. They have an AWP that's been stolen, and the bomb is still down there with about 25 seconds, so they're not really out of that awkward zone just yet. OG, there's Brolin sneaking into it, and Neofrag, he's in a lot of trouble here. Missed shot, but he doesn't really have a lot of time for this, and Brolin will find the kill. Not usually the AWP player, but he gets the double anyway. NIP, they steal that round, and a lot of hesitation, I feel like, on the side of OG.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what as well, this is the same problem OG had yesterday when they played their game against FaZe, was putting themselves in these opportunities to actually kind of take control of a certain portion of the half and letting it slip away. This one is against what? A saved M4 and some upgraded pistols, and they can't convert it. That would have been a money advantage, that would have been an economic advantage, that would have been a fourth round, that would have put them in a nice little driver's seat to close the gap, and they can't capitalize. Back to pistols, unfortunately, for OG.
It's kind of hard to explain, I guess, but there's some line between playing, you know, carefully against Deagles and 5.7s and all the rest of it, and playing, I guess, so carefully that you're actually giving all of the map control and all of the sort of positional advantage over the NIP.
They also just never expected that push down the ramp, right? Dexter gets like dinked up and forced back, and with pistols, I guess he's thinking, yeah, they're not going to push this, and obviously gets caught completely off guard. Now, this is a nice opening provided by Dexter. He can get another one. Dangerous headshot angle, but Alexi B is going to win it out.
Yeah, he saw that coming. Good shot from Alexi. Hampus swings in for it with a Molotov on top. There's going to be really hard to stop him. Good triple. Nexa gets another headshot, but it's probably too late. Definitely will be there. Good wall bang coming out. Alexi with the double. He's up to 11-4 at the moment. And they're going to get that defuse in. Man, that previous round, though, when we go back and do the analysis for the whole game, that is going to be a round that's going to have to be talked about. Could easily change the outcome of not just the half, but really the game, because again, those T rounds on Ancient are just so important.
Yeah, they're worth their weight. It's a tough one to drop. See if they can continue to recover. 3 rounds in this half so far. They've got plenty of time to get a few more on the board. They still haven't won 2 in a row. Still haven't won consecutive rounds is the problem. And obviously still haven't really been able to fully reset NIP. Hampus again with the mid pressure, and Flames is going to burn alive. Thought he was in the safety of the smoke. Alexi's had a great game. This time he's dropped by Dexter.
But did dink him up. He's very low on health all of a sudden. So 4-3 with a massive health advantage, and still some utility in the pockets of NIP. And they might feel really comfortable now just falling a little bit further back. Fiku sees that jump back there. Not going to get a chance for another one just yet. So yeah, early fight. That Molotov kill on the corner, I mean, hard to see from where we were looking at, but it did look like he was inside of the smoke, but I guess it somehow just burned behind it.
Yeah, it might have spread, and he thought he was in the smoke, and maybe he just couldn't see. It was interesting, but we'll take that. Hampus with an off angle. This is a nasty off angle. Should be good for at least 1. And Dexter slowly pressing the issue, but no HP to step into that fight. And it's all on Nexa. Poor little Nexa.
Yeah, they probably would have loved to have, if they could have found the kill on Hampus, they could have come back to connect with Nexa over on this side of the map. They could have sort of tried to move the defense around, but that's not going to be possible any longer. Yeah, there's a lot of space here, but you kind of know it's someone you just have to take the risk, and once you made a step, you just might as well go for it. Straight into the plant. They can't stop him from doing that. but he's still in a 1 versus 4 after the fact. Tries to go for it a little bit more. Some good damage coming out here. He's finally found a couple of kills in this game, so it's not bad. Deep Molotov. He gets one more, and that slowed them down. He knows where that AWP is, but the Molotov at his back, forcing him out. And eventually, Nexa is going to be going down. That's a great attempt, though.
Yeah, it really is. I actually liked everything he did there in that situation. Really made a competitive 1v4, which is not an easy thing to do, and good positioning to negate and isolate your 1v1s. That's a great shot from Rez. God damn. Spicy. 9-3, 6-round lead. Third timeout for OG. 3 rounds left to scrape together what they can in this first half.
I feel like 3 surely is... You're not going to feel really comfortable with that if you're OG going into the second half. It's just not enough of a platform, so... We'll see if they can just group a little bit more together. They had their chance, though. I think mentally, that's the round that's just so hard to get past.
And especially because you imagine they would have had a conversation as well against FaZe after the game yesterday. Of like, okay, we really need to capitalize on, like, you know, when we have them with 1 saved weapon and pistols, let's talk philosophically how we want to play these rounds, because we can't let them slip away in this fashion. And it might be a frustrating thing to have happen again here today. Follow up. 16 kills on Hampus, 16 and 5 for him. He's been wonderful in middle. Alexi's been paired up with him a couple times out of Cave and Jaguar. Mid-control defense for NIP is working very, very well.
A little bit of early nade damage onto Neo Frag, but that's about it. They get that control outside of B, which is fine. Still no real mid-control for OG, so they can't apply that much pressure. Oh, that is so awkward, and he almost gets the double anyway. I can't believe it. That surely should have been an instant death. Looked like he was trying to hand him a smoke as a sort of peace offering.
Yeah, and one of the rare times that they're not hard clearing to the left coming through that smoke as well. He he got everything he wanted. And his little peyote hut, opium den.
All right.
Well, you did the peace pipe thing, so I figured I'd...
All right. Yeah, fair enough. I see. Ooh. That is a pop flash. But unfortunately, it doesn't work on Dexter, who's much further back, saving his teammate, and now a little bit of revenge. Hampus, that is a dink, but it didn't actually do that much damage. And again, NIP have gone for the gamble rotate. They're saying, all right, you guys haven't really been able to be that flexible earlier in the game. Let's see if you are this time.
Yeah, this is where OG with the man advantage as well. Obviously, they can't know the minimap, but this is where, like, if this was heroic on the T side, someone is in those stairs, right? That's the powerful position to cut off rotations, and Flame still finds a double on the lurk, which means this round should be all said and done, but Hampus might have something to say about it. He's gonna go for it. He's got the money.
Yeah, you're deep in this half, you might as well give it a shot. A little bit of an element of surprise, but it's given up right then and there with the look over, so that's unfortunate. Still good pick off there. He keeps going, finds another one, and he might have thought that was the player behind the box, not realizing that Fiku is still there. So just the lack of information is going to make it very hard to win that one. If he had spotted 2 players there, he would have had a little bit more to work with. Still, good try.
Absolutely. 9-4. Oh, that is awkward. That's the worst timing. Alexi had to be panicking at that point, but the fact he almost gets a double out of it is quite nice. There's the lurk from Flames. So, all things considered, OG still have a chance to make this a pretty competitive half, and you want to talk about missing windows of opportunity. There's one right here. Again, this can be kind of a 2-for-1 with the final 2 rounds of the half.
Yeah.
Hampus is going to have to drop a weapon over to S-Tag so that he can buy. And then all of a sudden you're sitting in a situation where if you're OG, winning this round and you're going up against pistols essentially in the final of the first half.
I have a technical question, Jason. Could you use crunched up Doritos to make like a turkey batter for Thanksgiving? Is that allowed?
I mean, personally, I would never create an abomination.
You've got your family recipe.
But you could, yeah, we do. But I mean, what I would think you would want to do, you could crush up some Doritos to make a little bit of a shell, and you could actually deep fry a turkey with like a Dorito crust on it.
Nice.
And that could get a little bit weird.
All right. Well, not getting deep fried, getting shot for the smoke instead is Nexa. That's unfortunate, but Flames is there to make up for it, taking down Hampus. It's not all bad. And like you said, this is the moment. This is where they all could be recovered from OG. They can still have a good first half. This can still be respectable. They have the positions. They have the bomb being planted right down in front. And this is a 4-on-4 after plant.
And they put all the decision-making pressure on NIP if they want to go for this or not. They could save these weapons for the final round, and good shots from Dexter. I think now Rez and Alexi have to make the call to save. I don't think there's a standing to get back into this.
Yeah, smoked out, and even if the early kill goes to NIP, the recovery is just so good. And that's a 5th round, and they're probably only going to have these 2 rifles. Maybe S-Tag could buy a little bit more, but it's going to be very slim.
This is a cool half for OG. I mean, they've really had to battle and grind just to stay within reach, and right here at the end, they might have grabbed enough of a hold to make a very competitive second half.
Yeah, sticking with it, which has to be a good feeling, just given how all of this has worked out. Not really giving up on the project, and 9-5 could be 9-6 if they could survive this next round.
Remember as well, a nice call towards the end of the half as well. OG, I mean, Nexa obviously having the knowledge. Remember, Fiku was able to come in with that triple AK on a I think the second round or a save round earlier to win a round for OG, just opening up the A bomb site. And Nexa's like, we're going to go back to that one more time.
Yeah.
We're going to hit that. We've sensed a weakness. We've sensed the ability that one of my players is having a hot hand over here. Let's go back to it. And just a really nice timing that NIP wasn't expecting.
Well, you said at the start you picked OG on this one, sort of based on Dexter, and he's up to 13 kills. He's way ahead of the rest of the team, so right now that prediction's looking pretty good. He is doing what he's meant to be doing. And with that AWP in play, you could see even close range, he's so snappy with that aim. Speaking of ops, there's one on res. So that's something that OG would love to dodge and not run into at the start of the round here. Alexi with the M4 as well. The smoke is going to be maybe a little bit late. They're already out in front, so very tempting to just swing for the fight, and they will, but Flame's not realizing there's a second player here. Oh, he actually got that shot. Oh my god.
Holy hell.
That left the barrel of that rifle, and he was dead already, but it still managed to ring out and take down Alexi. That's so absurd.
Just a random recoil spray. Well, NIP shifting over to A. A little bit worried for the moment of this timing. Fiku's gonna go patient. I think you might have heard a footstep from S-Tag pushing up a little bit close to the choke point. At the moment, OG is content to just wait.
I want to see a slow-mo of that transfer when we start on the second half, so I need the replay.
Okay.
Charging in. He's going to go down again, S-Tag.
He's seen 2, though. He got killed by 1. He saw the utility, and now he's telling his team, no matter what happens at the B bomb site, you got a 3-on-1 there, so get in, get the bomb planted, and here we go.
Yeah. Great example right there. You're absolutely right about, just the power of getting the information, even if you don't win the fight outright. Some shots coming through, and Dexter's not loving that. Walks away from it. Setting up with a flashbang. They have this one and one more left just as the smoke is fading for a little bit of a peek, and Dexter will win that fight easily. Gets back around the corner, only barely. Brolin's gonna pick up 2 kills, and it leaves Neofrag down here, playing for time. And there's still quite a bit left. They have a smoke as well that can make it very rough on him on top of the bomb. So now he's going to be under a lot of pressure once that defuse is coming in, and he walks right into it. Brolin finding the 3rd kill right then and there, and it'll be 10-5 at the end of the half in favor of NIP. Great stuff for them. They are looking very, very powerful at the moment. We'll see if they could do even better in the second half. It's coming up right. Oh my god.
That doesn't make sense.
That's wild. Second half is coming right up.
Nothing T-spawn, guys. Nothing T-spawn.
I did like a
I have all
random
of it.
smoke.
Yeah.
Nothing in the smoke.
Just,
I'm gonna
just shield, boys.
I'm water.
Careful ruins push. Pulling long a bit. They smoke long. They smoke long. Come here.
I'm going long. Cave. I'm gonna pick cave. Don't see. Gonna
Yeah,
plant.
One is 10 HP.
They flashed. They naded. City up, city up.
Be careful the ropz, boys. Like
I can
close
model
wall.
ruins.
Nothing.
No,
No,
I have
where
who
is-
is
where-
fully.
where-
I have
where-
who is fully.
Close
goes
wall,
long.
long. Nice.
Nice. Good job.
Sick, boys.
Do you want?
Nice clutch there for NIP taking on OG here on Ancient. Elimination match at the Blast Premier Fall Finals. One of these two teams is going home. We're just one half into the series. But NIP looking good. Looking much better than yesterday. OG's managing to claw it back, managing to make themselves or put themselves in a position to actually contend here in the second half and perhaps steal this away from the Ninjas.
Yeah, that 10-5 scoreline is just a little bit deceptive. It definitely could have been a very different outcome, but it might be enough for OG. We're about to find out.
It's their map pick as well.
It is their map pick. And they got the Rourke into Dexter with the dualies right here. The timing is almost good, but now he's being hunted instead. He realizes he can't really stay there. 4 people coming at him, and a Goosh on top. He's under a lot of pressure now. Backup isn't going to be there in time, and Rez will be able to find him with that P250. He's been doing a lot of work with that recently. Neofrag, a little bit of a crossfire that he could be walking into. Quick bomb plant coming through. And NIP, this is a good start, but bringing it back a little bit with that headshot. Maybe there is still a chance for the retake. OG, they need this round badly. Flames, he'll pick up one more and a good couple of kills coming through their way. Brolin and S-Tag. That bomb is still pretty freshly planted. Oh, they're swinging it back. Nexer is on his own, and he doesn't have the kit picked up at all, so this is going to be a long time. Almost catches Brolin. He's still jumping back there, and he gets the shot. That is a really, really good clutch. 1 versus 2 at the end.
Nice, calm, and collected from Nexa. That, I mean, even predicting the jump as well for the information, that was sick, and he knows he just has to sit on top of the bomb to give the illusion that he's still defusing to force out another peek. This is actually such a great retake from OG. I mean, to lose Dexter without getting anything done, a 4-on-5 retake coming from middle, they handle everything perfectly. Even the knowledge at the end of the day, Brolin was fighting someone over in A main, so they knew they had a 2-on-1 at the bomb site when they actually eventually came out of Donut. That's a really good job from OG all across the board. Pistol round is a wonderful start to start coming back on the CT side.
And from Brolin's point of view, he obviously can't really know if that is with or without a defuse kit. So he has to be at least a little bit respectful and just take a look every once in a while. That got him killed. Yeah, winning that pistol round, huge. And now OG obviously got to make sure they don't throw anything away. It looks like it could be a little bit of a restart.
Yep, little tech pause as the chat comes in. No damage done, so we're all good. We're all clear.
Yeah. Jason, you ever heard of the 12-inch ruler?
The 12-inch ruler.
Yeah, they don't make them any longer.
Okay. Interesting. Continue.
No, that's all there was.
That's all there was? Is there like a joke I'm missing in that one?
No, just don't think about it. You don't have to think about it any longer. It's fine.
Wait, now it's bothering me. I'm actually confused.
It's fine. Just don't think about it.
Okay.
Move on. Back to the game.
Sure.
If OG can not screw up this next round, then they're going to set themselves up nicely for the second half, right?
I like the way you painted that picture. If they can just not screw up this next round.
Yeah. If they can fight their own tendency to throw away easy rounds, then they're going to be fine. They are their own worst enemy, whatever.
I'm going to be really interested to see if NIP come back in with the same buy that they had, right? Because they had the Galil on S-Tag, they had upgraded pistols around it, so a little bit of utility to play with, some things to challenge with. So I'll see. I'd like to see if they come back and out of the tech pause. I don't know what the rules are. Are you allowed to change your buy out of like a round restart?
I think you can do, yeah, probably. Should be able to.
Yeah. That'd be funny. If you're just like, we just showed a Galil and like Deagles, we restarted the round, and now we got Glocks.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a really strong buy in the next one.
I feel like there surely can't be a rule around that. So
No.
they do whatever they want. But I'm sure they probably just want to keep the pressure on. They've been winning a couple of these rounds already in IP, so they're probably pretty confident that they can throw a stick in their wheel.
You know, I've been thinking about a Doritos crusted turkey since you brought it up in the first half.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
We started something.
You know, this is there used to be a flavor of Doritos that they no longer make anymore. They had a guacamole flavored Dorito back in the day.
Okay.
It was really good.
The mythical
Yeah.
So you're starting a campaign to bring that back so
Exactly.
that you can have the...
If anyone at Danish Doritos is listening in to this right now, bring me that guacamole Doritos.
All right. How long ago are we talking here?
They all this is when I was in high school, so it's a while ago. It's a minute.
Okay. All right.
But I don't know why they went away from it. Everyone loves guacamole. There's a whole like avocado toast thing going on. Guacamole's big these days. This is a perfect time for it.
Yeah, you're making a strong point.
Avocados and guacamole weren't as big back in the day as they are now.
So it was just ahead of their time in many ways, and
Yeah.
now they can bring it back.
Yeah. They're doing it. They're changing their buy. Mac 10s. I love this.
Wow.
Oh, I'm so into this. This is really getting me going.
Very interesting. Put some speed behind it.
Yeah, because they opened up like it was going to be a little bit slower and more defaulty. Let's see if they actually challenge with some of these Mac 10s. Oh,
I think that'd be really funny.
yeah, hell yeah.
They are getting quite aggressive in the middle. Flashes over, Molotov in. They do slow it down. Would have been fun to see if they could have kept going and caught somebody off guard, but yeah, a little bit of a slowdown here. Although Neofrag's got to be very, very careful on the other side. They do have head armor on the CT side, except for Dexter, so most of them are going to be fine against the SMGs.
What is the plan here? Oh, the boost up. Here we go. They're going to be close.
Oh no, they're
double
boosting on the other
boost.
side. This can't be real. S-tag right there. Oh, and he's going to catch one. Dexter goes down. Fiku trying to save the day, but he can't against the Mac 10. Hampus will take him down. That is almost comedy.
They have to make a decision here, NIP, because the bomb has already shifted over. I don't think they expected this much success that quickly, but still spread on the map. Brolin is over towards the B bomb site. Alexi's in mid. There's only 2 players to actually attack and take the A bomb site, so they got to be a little bit careful. Boost over the top, but Neofrag can see nothing.
Brolin's still on the other side of the map against Nexus, so really, really weird scenario here. Kind of an isolated... Wow, he gets caught. 3 versus 3, but Neofrag dies before they even get close to thinking about a retake. So OG, tough position to be in. They're going to salvage what weapons they can and start to make their way back. NIP winning this round is a really big problem for OG.
That's so cool. I like that.
The fact that they're boosting on either side is just... That's I haven't seen that happen too often.
Counter-Strike jousting.
Yeah, that was what it felt like. And S-Tag came out on top, so good on him. 10, now 11 rounds to the 6 of OG.
And unfortunately, that really hurts. Obviously, that great pistol round to get started in the second half for OG to close the gap and try and take an advantage moving forward. Now, I mean, the half kind of changes. Instead of trying to build off that pistol round and get your economy going early, you're fighting to kind of stabilize the economy now. Although this is what occurred in the first half as well. The first 3 rounds were back and forth affairs.
Yeah, with NIP eventually winning out on top, so... I'm sure OG are hoping that it's going to be something similar here. They do desperately need it. 20 kills on Hampus. We were pointing out earlier, he's someone that can maybe balance out Dexter on the other side, and he sure is at the moment. Although he will go down eventually here. Flames with a good double kill in return. Fiku pushing up, an S-tag. He was in the right position, but mentally not really ready for it. You could tell he was kind of thinking about something else. And Rez, he's hearing the footsteps. He's realizing, and he's catching Fiku, who for whatever reason was still running around.
Very sloppy round from S-tag and Fiku. S-tag, I don't know if you can really blame him. Pushed in. I think he was looking back at a teammate, starting to talk about how they wanted to handle the situation. But Fiku, they're going a little bit crazy, assuming that nobody was even going to be close by. Still, the bomb is disconnected from Brolin. Oh, and this timing is horrible for Brolin. And OG, you were saying they were going to hope to recover and hope to kind of do exactly what NIP did to them in the first half, and they have all the chances in the world. 1v3 against Rez with a Galil. Again, Neofrag caught, nade in hand. That's going to give Rez access to a bomb plant and a 1v2.
Wallbang does really nothing except reveal where he is, so Rez is going to be sneaking out here.
That's a great reposition during the reload as well.
Yeah, definitely is giving him a moment that they might be able to guess soon enough, but they don't have any nades to get rid of him, so he has a fair chance at this fight, even with the Galil. Hiding in this corner, is wasting a lot of time. There's a good kill on the Dexter. Flames up next to try and see if he can take a swing at him, and he brings Rez down low, and he'll find the shot as well. Quick spin around to go straight for that defuse, so... Man, that is, in many ways, I think, not just Fiku and S-Tag, but just a lot of sloppy stuff was happening that round all over the board.
A lot of, I mean, it did get a little bit crazy with that push towards A. You kind of throw everything into chaos and you kind of lose your feel for what's happening on the map. But yeah, a lot of assumptions were being made. Neofrag here getting caught as well, just out in the open. deploying his smoke aggressively. And a nice 1v3 attempt for Rez that just falls short at the end of the day. Tell you what, I mean, you know, we talk about Dexter on this OG side. Obviously, as we all know, Flames, if he steps it up, if he starts having a really good second half on the CT side, it's going to be a really tough defense to crack. So OG respond immediately. They're back within 4. Looking to string 2 together and finally take control of the economy.
All right, missed shot. A lot of flashes going over, but eventually they're going to be able to stabilize. SMG up close, and Dexter, the early barrage of flashbang, he kind of lives through that and gets the aim back. So good stoppage of that rush. Scary when they even missing 1 shot with that AWP. If they get up to the bomb site, if that first kill goes the way of NIP, it's a very different round.
Yeah, especially there's no smoke down in front of Dexter either. The NIP didn't deploy one, so in one sense, like they don't, you know, they don't block off that choke when they give them all the chances. But also missing that first shot, if the SMG isn't there, they have a clear line of sight to swing on him as well. He's never able to pull it off, and Rez left again in a really difficult clutch. This one probably impossible. He's boxed in. Neofrag's looking for the retreat. They know his position. And a nice easy kill from behind. 2 in a row for OG. That's going to force NIP onto a save and give OG some breathing room.
Which is great. They haven't experienced that yet on Ancient. I feel like this is one of the first times that we're going to see them with a little bit of a chance to actually get some momentum going.
That first kill from Nexa with the SMG is actually just so important for so many reasons. Obviously, it gives Dexter time to kind of readjust, get a new angle, land the second shot after missing the first, but also Neofrag comes back from cave to swing out to immediately trade his death as well. That bought a lot of time for the defense. 3-round lead for NIP, but they're back to Glocks and Deagles.
Yeah, this lead could disappear so quick. Okay, little dink up. Neofrag. Yeah, if he falls back, he has to at least communicate that with Flames so that none of them are left on an island somewhere. And Nexa comes back. SMG still in hand, leaving Rez entirely on his own with not much to do. Maybe talk to the teammates a little bit if you want here.
We didn't really have a chance to see NIP's T side yesterday. They got busted up so badly that they really only got to play like 4 or 5 gun rounds. So.
All right, MP9 for the triple. Gonna make some good money.
You know, the Doritos Locos Taco is a beautiful thing as well. That's one of the great inventions of mankind, I think.
There's a lot more variability here than I was expecting. You can see we've opened up a whole world into... Now the question is, can we make it happen here in Copenhagen?
One thing I've
now that you're feeling all nostalgic, you know.
One thing I've come to realize about Europeans is you guys don't really experiment with foods that are absolutely, you know, we get a little bit crazy with our foods over in America.
Yeah.
We like to get a little wild.
We stay within the categories. It's like, you know, there's not a lot of mixing going on. I agree.
If you really open up the deep frying concept, you can do a lot of things.
You go for it. Oh, that is a sick flash around the corner. And honestly, credit the Brolan for spinning around. He actually did see it coming. Very quick reactions, but just couldn't get the fight in time. He's going to be going down. This round is super critical for NIP to reestablish some of the momentum that they had in the first half. Bring it back now early before OG spin out of control. They already have quite a bit of money on their side. And you could see Dexter is 17 kills. Neofrag is 14. They got a couple of players that have really started to warm up in this game. Oh, are they going to go for a little bit of aggression behind this?
Okay, here we go. I like this. This is a good timing for it as well. A deep smoke, and this is the timing right when NIP readjusts and are here to actually move forward, so this is going to delay everything. This hurts for NIP. This kind of sucks. Like, you have a call to go all the way back across the map, and as soon as you get there, smoke plumes. And this gives time for Nexa to clear everything out towards middle. And now he can set up and be really comfortable knowing where the next fight is going to come from. Oh, but he's not ready for that shot from Hampus. Peeks out, and now it's all on Neofrag.
25 seconds, but NIP have time to clear this bomb site. Deep flashes there, and they're going to clear Neofrag right away. What an important kill to go through from Flames, though. That brings it back at least. It's a 3-on-3, and they're still trying to see if they can find one more shot before that bomb goes down, but it is being safely planted. A little bit of a boost going over and a jump, and I don't think he saw too much there, unfortunately. No more nades except for the smoke here on OG.
Yeah, they got to decide if they want to put that at the top of the ramp or if they want to block off cave. And now they go top ramp, but man, all 3 players in cave is going to make this really difficult. I don't think you'll expect Hampus there, even if you get the first 2 kills.
No, probably not. A lot of targets to fight. Good kill and a good follow-up from Fiku, but like you said, they do cover it. That is huge. Dexter not getting caught.
Well, having 2 players alive, right? Fiku can tap it and turn around and look at the smoke, and Dexter can just keep his eyes on cave, so they have all eventualities covered. Those high fives coming out.
Classic.
Trademark high fives from Dexter.
They really are. I still say that should be... They should set up a booth at one of these events where you can just... You have Dexter and you can go get a high five, you know?
Or like an AI Dexter hand.
No, actually him.
Actually him.
Make him spend half a day high-fiving people.
Yeah. And then be ruined to play the game the next day.
Yeah, but charge for it, like $100 or something per...
Per high five?
Yeah.
That's steep.
Yeah, but it's inexperienced.
True.
I bet you could feel it for days afterwards, you know, so...
Yeah. Probably never experienced a high five like that in your life.
Exactly. This was almost a real failed round for OG, where they have the opening kill, they have all the information, and they just lose one important fight at the start. It could have gone horribly wrong, but good recovery.
A wonderful retake, and they've had a couple of them here in the second half. The Pisteron was a great retake in a 4v5. This one as well, a tough retake that they managed to pull off. Ooh, Hampus eats a nade and burns alive. Dexter missing a shot as he gets blinded, but there's no aggression coming in middle.
Yeah, not a lot you can do running through middle like that, especially when you're flashed as well, so unfortunate. Still, what a game for Hampus. 22 kills right now.
It's all on S-Tag with his AK-47. Here comes the boost.
Well, this could catch somebody off guard. I don't know how much Fiku could see back there. He's already up. He has a little bit of an idea, but this is scary. If he takes one false step here, he could be zoned out. Now he knows. He gets the better advantage, and that's great. Well done.
The AK-47 is stuck up there as well. Fiku's spending utility to make sure nobody's progressed forward. Now Rez has the AK, but a 2v5, they need those kills, they need them now. And NIP, or excuse me, OG is starting to put together the picture. Defense was mostly at the B bomb site. This was all Fiku, but now he's called everyone over.
Yeah, but they're so far back. It's very, very hard for NIP to find a fight. I think Rez would have loved it if someone would have swung to battle him at some point, but they're just not giving him that luxury.
No, smart play from OG. Stay back, make them make the move. You have a 5-on-2, no reason for you to overextend chasing any kills. Wow, that one was real nice.
It's great. This is, 5 people alive, like you were saying. They're going to make a lot of money behind this. And also catching up, tying up the scoreline, 11-11. They're in a powerful position.
Yeah, they really are. Good looking OG so far in defense. NIP's gonna have another crack at it. 5 straight for OG. They are on fire. So is middle. Double Molotovs. Molotovs everywhere.
Yeah, the whole half of the map is on fire at the moment. And they're smoked out, so can't even really use that double Molotov in middle for any information, any kind of play. You're just kind of stuck waiting for it. And more smokes keep raining down to slow down this attack.
But this is a huge utility dump from OG. Look at the nades they have left moving forward. Fiku's got a smoke. Nexa has a smoke, but I mean, NIP, while this feels a little bit silly and feels a little bit weird and unfortunate at the moment, and that's a missed Molotov from Alexei. But you're just saying, okay, guys, they just used so much. Let's just wait it out. Let's wait it out, and then we'll have a clear battle moving forward. And they've got everything they've wanted after that. Good trades, good retake of the B lane, and now it's up to Fiku and Flames to pick up the pieces.
Surely not going to be possible here. Flames is entirely on his own. 3 people coming at him. He gets one and another one. Oh my god! He keeps following it up. One more headshot would have done it. That is nearly a 1 versus 4 that he won in almost, what, 3 or 4 seconds? That's so scary because really, obviously, they're just thinking that's it. Like, we've got him trapped. We know we can beat him. And they almost give it all away.
He has the benefit of surprise on the first kill, right on the Hampus, because they just cleared out B lane. They just cleared out 3 players that were outside position in that there. You're never going to expect that 4th player to be that deep into the bomb site. You expect him to be far back on a rotation, far back deploying utility. And you just saw a glimpse of what makes Flames a special player and what makes people excited about the future of his career.
Yeah, that was really sick. But those flashes to retake control outside of B were devastating. I can't believe they worked that well. And also the follow-up, I mean, you had one M4 in the corner that got flashed. The follow-up would have been Dexter on the AWP, but that's... And then obviously the other M4 is kind of looking towards the middle, I guess. A lot of stuff that went wrong there for OG. NIP, very thankful that worked out.
Good call from NIP, though, to be patient in the previous round. Perfect counter from Alexi. Brolin all on his own towards the B bomb site. A heavy lean towards A. This looks like NIP want to make a timing hit out of it. With Brolin lurking, cutting off rotations in middle and out of Jaguar.
So strong setup towards the A bomb side, though. Way stronger than you normally see. Fiku flashed in. What a drop down, and he's gonna get both of them. That looked so well rehearsed. That's a rare sight. Even to have two people at A to begin with, but that kind of a setup, NIP were not ready for.
Yeah, the flashbang into the drop. You're exactly right. Good lurk from Hampus. Aggressive, but he gets caught coming back through. Neofrag pounces. And Rez has been put in a number of weird, tough, clutch situations in this half that have been mostly out of reach. This one is kind of doable, but that tag makes it hurt.
Yeah, he did put up the smoke, but peaked maybe a little bit early, and he can't do anything in that one. So OG giving up a round, but bringing it back. A bit of a tug of war going on at the moment.
It's got to be frustrating. You could see Alexi shake his head just before... this is going to be a tech timeout, not an actual tactical. But you could see Alexi just shaking his head because he's thinking he wants to execute this tactic. He has this whole strategic idea. He's trying to outplay his opponents, and just one aggressive flashbang and peek is like, oh, okay. Well, there goes all my plans. They're all ruined.
Which is really great, obviously, on the CT side. Whenever you can get a chance to do something like that, you take away one of the rounds, and question is how easily they can even set up for it again.
That's a migraine.
Yeah, we need some help with that. Get the coach in there.
No one's able to talk. Now we can. Round 25. It's 12-12. Not a whole lot of money for NIP to work with, hovering right around 3K, although Hampus has already bought an AK-47. They don't need to invest around it. That could just be a hero buy to try and keep the money low, trying to set NIP up for the future. And indeed, they kind of half buy around it. Tech-9s, Deagle, P250 on Brolin. And a similar kind of start. A lot of bodies towards the A bomb site. Brolin was in middle. Oh, they're just going to rush it.
AK leading the charge. This can definitely work, especially with one good flashbang around the corner. Flames, though, that's a lot of damage for just getting one kill. Deep grenade could absolutely change this, but it might go a little bit too far. Yeah, I think it just landed behind him, unfortunately. And this is a bit weird now. Hampus, I think, smartly playing this for the late round. He realized he's low on health. Staying on the bomb site's probably not going to work that well. So he wants to actually sneak in through the middle. Good shot from Neofrag. And now, unfortunately, a lot of good retake power coming in from the OG side before Hampus is really in position. Nice shot from Dexter. I can't believe he just straight peeked that, and Hampus realizing there's nothing you do.
No. Sit this one out. Man, OG's retakes in this half have been excellent. You got to give him credit where it's due. NIP's found their way into bomb sites, and OG's been able to retake pretty much each and every time. They've had 4 retakes and defuses. Of 5 plants, 4 of them OG have defused.
The migraine continues.
I was actually super worried because I think Fiku and Flames, I think this might be I don't know if I want to call it a mistake, but they obviously had the wrong timing. They were very committed to kind of stopping that hit right there with that fight.
Yeah.
Deciding and dictating so much with that kind of a commitment of a swing out of Donut. That might have been able to be played a little bit safer and differently, but they might have also thought they would have had time hearing those footsteps to reposition.
Yeah, it definitely shows what happens when you get just caught a little bit out of position. What a nade, and Rez is low as well. They almost got that early AWP shot. It's a nice try. But the truth is, NIP are starting to get into a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, tactically they're getting shut down at the moment. I mean, you had the round where they were trying to set up for an A explosion where they get flashed and peeked on in A main. This round right here, Rez and Alexi want to pick up the pace and aggression to try and get an opening pick towards Jaguar. They have to spend a lot of HP running through Molotovs to get there and need a nade for their trouble. So a lot of these early moves from NIP and setups are just getting completely stopped by OG.
Flames and Neofrag both with the top kills, 21 each. Dexter right behind him at 20, so they've got a deadly trio that's working on that OG side. On the other side, Hampers 24 kills, which is crazy. He's been playing a really sick game, but he needs somebody else up there to try and pick it up. Can't just be him. And look at this, map has shrunk down for NIP now that Fiku's trying to retake middle. Oh, he's here so early with Flames as well. They're boxed in once again. You said tactically outplayed. That's what's happening in this round one more time.
Yeah, the information gaming won by OG. Everyone's going to be shifting over. Neofrag time. Oh, dear lord. Hampus sees him through the smoke. He didn't realize he was exposed. That's the bomb, though. That's the bomb, and Fico might have put a stop to this. Flames is here as well. And it all works perfectly. OG with a late mid-take. Control everything.
That did look really scary once they got that first AWP killed. But, yeah, well done. Good follow-up. And again, because they were in middle so early and NIP just didn't even realize, they were able to retake that right away.
3 rounds straight for OG. 8 of the last 9 for OG. 9 of 11 rounds in the second half to OG. This has been a dominant defense. NIP can't crack it. They've taken timeouts. They've tried different looks. They've tried different paces. And they're just 2 rounds away from losing this opening map.
Yeah, they're getting close. They're getting really close on this one. But definitely in the second half, you can sense that they're just not in control of what's actually happening on the map.
Flames and Neofrag have really shot up the scoreboard once we switch sides as well.
Yeah.
They've been very comfortable on this CT side. Flames at 22 kills now overtakes Dexter, top fragging for OG. Neofrag's tied up there as well, 21. Him and Dexter apiece.
NIP going to try for some mid control. If they can control the middle while also holding that B lane, they're going to be in a decent position. Ooh. Trying to play a game there, trying to get the timing, a little burst, and then standing up again, right into Hampus, which is kind of funny. 4 on 5 now, and Hampus taking the risk and sneaking through the smoke. And now the question is, how much could they play around? There's a lot of map control for NIP.
They have a lot of leverage with that position. Oh, and a double push down B ramp. Again, it's shut down. OG, I think I've tried that once before and even got demolished. That might be something they don't want to go back to. Dexter finds the kill in middle, taking down Hampus, but I don't even know if this is worth going for. You do have money if you're OG, but 2v4, kind of out of position. They're going to see if Fiku can provide something on the flank, if Dexter can stop the plant, and okay, now it's interesting.
Yeah, you get that kill, and the bomb is only just planted. Maybe you just try for it. I still think it's a little bit crazy, but yeah, they're feeling hot at the moment. Fiku is going to be going down. Alexi with a good stop to that one. NIP looking for a 13th round, and Dexter is in a 1 versus 3. Does have a kit, does have a smoke. If he could find one good kill, maybe he could try and go for it. Alexi smartly not peeking, leaving it up to Dexter to try and see if he could swing for it. Now he's a little bit exposed to that ramp out in the open, and this bomb is already run down so low. Alexi playing this really well, just spending all the time in the round. I mean, yeah, maybe he could have landed an instant headshot, but there was not a lot of time left.
I mean, he landed a shot. It brought us down to 19. That was actually way closer than I expected it to be. Good job from Alexi just playing Ring Around the Rosie, using the sound cues. But once again, OG get caught. They haven't really been able to pull off that B aggression down the ramp very successfully in this half. And IP find a round due to Hampus's opening kill, his push through the smoke in middle. 13-14, just 1 round back, and they, OG, excuse me, used their 4th and final timeout in the game.
Once Alexi gets that first kill towards the tunnels, it's a really easy, almost like a default reaction to quickly peek on the other side. And if he had peeked into Dexter and got killed, that would have been a bit of a nightmare. So it's kind of cool to see him just stand his ground and realize that the only thing that he needed to do is just stay alive for a long time there.
It's a really nice 1v3 attempt, though, from Dexter. I'm surprised it actually even got that close. And you could see him putting it together, looking for the reaction off all of his shots. 14-13. Mid presence for OG.
Yeah, very aggressively in the middle. Flames.
They got to back away from, though, as that smoke's going to fade. They don't have anyone playing in Jaguar to really help support. You're relying on Fiku. They're going to stick with it.
They still want to hold it, but I mean, this does make it a lot more dangerous. If there is a crunch coming in from the T side, you're not going to be ready for it. Oh, Hampus. I don't think he realized he could be seen. Gap in the smoke.
I wonder if that's a designed gap. I was worried that Fika wouldn't realize there was a gap in the smoke.
Certainly looked like he was really looking for it, so feels like, yeah, he had some information. And now the problem is, if you lose one more player here, S-Tag is setting up a grenade on the other side, but Fiku is so ready for it. It goes out, but he's listening and calling it in. You could see he's communicating all of this. Molotov out. S-Tag has no reason to suspect that someone's going to be in that corner, and he goes straight down. Flames now just battling them in the middle. He finds the headshot on Alexi, and between the two of them, they win the round outright.
Yeah, NIP just never put it together that OG was just going to stand their ground in mid and fight the entire time. It was never even a possibility in their head. S-Tag dumping all of his utility. I mean, if you believe they're going to be there, you can crunch that with these 3 players, but none of them really all expected that much.
No, they didn't. It's very, very aggressive.
Ooh, a monitor punch? It wasn't really a punch, it was like a love tap.
Yeah.
It was like a...
Migraines, monitors, we've got a lot. There's a lot going on. 15 rounds on the side of OG.
15 rounds. 2 chances to close it out. This is their map pick.
Yeah, and you can start to see why. I mean, the performance between Flames and Dexter and Neofrag right now is outrageous how many kills they have.
Yeah, and I mean, the defense has just been locked down. The retakes have been absolutely beautiful. I think that's really what's allowed them to win the game. I mean, those retakes all came mostly within the first stages of this half, the first 5-6 rounds of this half, and ever since then, it's been locked down. NIP's really had a tough time getting into bomb sites as this half has gone deeper.
There's a point in time, it's a long time ago now,
okay,
where we would, you know, there was some meme going around about nip magic, so we need that back in this one.
Yeah, that one's long dead.
It's been a long time. We need an archaeologist to come and, you know, recover it from somewhere. 29th round, but they need 2 right here. Bring it into overtime, and even to start it with, what do they have? An AK, a Galil? Not that much to work with. Fiku is going to be pushing in, giving them maybe a chance.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
The CT side flash in through smoke, but here's the reaction. And oh, Brolin doesn't expect it. He drops down, he's got utility in hand. If Flames can just stay alive and hold on, this flank is going to be brutal. Oh, they know his position.
Yep, they definitely do. Good kill there. Dexter with 1 on top, and Flames will catch 1 spraying through. So they do recover it somewhat. Only 10 seconds left. How did they even get the bomb plant down right here? Good headshot. That might be part of it. 8 seconds. They push maybe a little bit early. And Nexa letting him go past. He wants to stop and win the round right here. He runs for it. The bomb is planted, sure, but S-Tag, he couldn't escape. He'll get the Tech-9 out instead. And that is such a close round. I can't believe they won that.
Yeah, it's all that deagle that pushed towards CT spawn, the wraparound. That's what allowed them to get some pressure with 10 seconds left. Allowed them to have some opportunity. Yes. That's a crazy win. It felt impossible for NIP at a certain moment in this round to actually claw it back. Well done from S-Tag, and Nexa just way committed to the fight. He had no other options.
And it feels like, surely Neofrag, with that little time, like 7 seconds on the clock, probably also should have been playing it maybe a little bit more safely. I think they were a little bit panicked at the end, feeling like this is it. Wow.
Yeah, what a reversal. Look at the weapons that OG has to fight with now. 2 SMGs. You still have the op on Dexter, thankfully. And you actually have most of NIP in this side of the map going at the op. Flashbang out. Doesn't bother Dexter. Gonna take a deeper angle.
Alright, nade around. Not touching anyone. Shot through, and even with the FAMAS, that's a fair bit of damage. Onto Alexi. Almost no nades on that CT side, so can even understand why they want to be a bit aggressive, because if they can win the early fight here, then NIP are going to be at a disadvantage.
They've really struggled to make this work, though. This kind of aggressive play down B ramp. They've been punished twice, and it's going to happen again. It's going to happen a 3rd time. And in the most critical time, round 30, NIP looking and expecting overtime in a 5-on-3.
Yeah, and they're not going to hesitate too much here either. They just kind of go straight for it. 3 versus 4. Oh, wait. They do set it up. They're going to go back instead. And now that Fiku finds that kill, this is very awkward. Do you want to keep going for this? 30 seconds. There's only one person here, but do they realize the lineup is almost there? That's nearly a double spray down. He could have won the map right then and there. Rez getting back around the corner. I don't think that Flame saw him either, so still a very, very tough retake. Trying with the deagle and maybe lining that shot up a little bit too long. Rez will take him down, and now Neofrag 1 versus 3, and he's going to be found as well. It is overtime. NIP, they get the 2 consecutive rounds. That's a little bit of a miracle.
Yeah, that's, I mean, man, for how good that defense has been throughout the entire half, the collapse in these last 2 rounds, when the pressure's on to close it, that's crazy. What a way for NIP to find overtime. And again, it's that B push. This is something that didn't work 2 times before this. I'm not sure why they wanted to go back to it. Maybe a lack of confidence due to the weaponry, but you still had Dexter with an AWP.
Yeah, that's, I mean, and in the previous round, right, it was flashing their way through the smoke over the A hallways, right?
Yeah.
So some of that aggression did backfire.
Really questionable overextension decisions from OG in the final 2 rounds. Last time out is used by NIP, right before overtime begins.
Man, what a position to be in. For OG, this looked like such a nice, steady, still like a linear curve straight to the finish line, but the problem is, if they lose this in overtime now, I'm sure mentally that's going to be very hard to recover from.
Rounds 29 and 30 won by NIP are the only 2 rounds they strung together back-to-back in the entire half. And it's the 2 they needed to force overtime.
Yeah. There we go. Overtime in effect. Everybody's got money once again now. And again, this very forward position set up in the middle by the CTs. Brolin setting up. Hoping to catch. You can spot people through. Deep nade. And Lex, he got spammed earlier. And now the HE on top. Not having the best start to the round.
No, he's not loving it. Now, contrasting those B pushes that have never worked for OG, the mid control has worked spectacularly for them at times.
Here we go. Flash and a double peek in. That's very powerful. And Brolin's already low on health. Nice grenade coming back into it. At least it is a 4-on-4, but the health is heavily in favor of OG. They've pretty much left all of the A bomb site and are playing it as a massive retake. Just gambling on the idea that NIP would show up here. And Fiku gets a kill, but he can't get back around the corner, so I don't know, it's still a bit interesting.
There's no one to distract for Nexa. Nobody to take attention away from him, just tucked into the corner. Good kill on S-Stag. Now Dexter steps up and it works perfectly. That first kill is everything. And the AWP closes it out, 16-15.
All right. It still feels like a bit of a tense round in a lot of different ways. But they were able to make everything work. I'm curious how they can have nobody in the A-bomb site, 1 person in the middle, and still it feels like the B-bomb site is kind of empty in terms of the defense, but they managed to get there. 16-15. All right, a little bit more speed behind this one for NIP. Want to try and see if they can open it up. Brolin runs right in there, but does not really want to challenge the next smoke. Would have been cool to see him really hunt for that opening kill, but I guess it is a big risk.
Passive B setup. Gonna step in front of the smokes. Dexter's here with the AWP as well.
Some wall bangs coming up from either side.
They're set up very nicely for this. Good kill from Flames. That's in middle. That's the only other presence that NIP had on the map was just Hampus trying to activate himself individually. He's shut down. And now OG Shirley probably feels very comfortable knowing what's coming. They have to have a very good idea here. Neofrag's inside the bomb site. And actually, it looks like they're all shifting back into a more passive setup for a retake.
Yeah, maybe just get 1 more kill, make it a 5-on-3 if you can, and then just, even if they get the bomb plant, who really cares? And the fact that Hampus is the one to go down, he's got 28 kills. He's been playing such a great game. S-Tag is starting to get there too. He's up at 25, so still playing a fine game, but...
There's no smoke for Dexter.
Yeah, they know so much. The flashbang was really good, but doesn't matter. Dexter just pulls the trigger blind, and he's going to get the kill on Brolin now. A little bit of a flick that doesn't connect. But they're getting picked apart either way. Alexi alone in a 1 versus 5, and it's Dexter with a triple to get to 30. And also to get a 2-round lead over NIP here in overtime.
Yeah, Dexter just chews him up there with the ult. That's really well done. I actually thought Neofrag was going to rotate all the way back around towards middle and actually retake mid control for like a quick flank on that, but
Right, yeah.
you didn't even need it whatsoever. Dexter hitting some very nice shots with the ult. Yeah, let's go Nexa.
Nexa had a dreadful start to this game in terms of he was 0-7 at one point.
Yeah, he did.
15 might not seem like a lot, but it's a pretty decent recovery, you've got to say. And he's been calling this game pretty well. Hampus goes down early again.
It's got to be so frustrating. You lose the last 2 rounds of your CTF to get to overtime, and then you just dominate once again in overtime.
You're back into it. And it's got a really... Ooh. The legendary auto sniper.
We would have liked to see those. I'm not going to name names, but there's been some people theorizing the auto sniper is going to have a resurgence here with the op nerf.
Yeah.
I don't want to name names. I don't want to put them out there. But I've heard the conversation.
A little teasing a little bit. Ooh. Roland needed that fight, and he can't quite have it. Nexa back on that ramp. They still can't win that fight. It's it's crazy.
I know. Just don't do it.
Yeah, eventually they get there, but still, it seems like a big risk. 3 in a row, though, for OG on their CT side in overtime. They just need 1 more round on this T side, and they are good to go. That's a good position to be in.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, look, their T side wasn't anything super crazy to be excited about. It's still going to be a struggle. But I mean, much like NIP, both these teams struggled for the majority of their T half, and like right at the end, I think OG got the last 3 rounds of the half,
Yeah.
and then NIP got the last 2 rounds of the half.
Yeah, and there were some signs for OG, I feel like. There were some things they were putting together. It just felt like a lot of the rounds where OG had the advantage on the T side, they just couldn't capitalize on it.
One thing that OG did really well a number of times in the first half was find a weakness at the A bomb site they could exploit. So I think if they get into trouble here on this T side on OT, they're going to go back to it. Nice kill from Rez. That's a heavy hitter to fall on the other side of the map, and Brolin finds the follow-up.
Yeah, good position here. Alexi keeps the fight up, but surely at this point, just leave it alone. 3 on 4, yeah, maybe you go for a little bit more, but 2 on 4, just time to pack it up. Rez with a good shot down the middle, and Nexa is on his own. So yeah, powerful start.
I don't think we'll see it. I don't know if we'll see it next round, but if this goes to the final round of overtime, OG's hitting that A bomb site somehow. Contact.
Yeah, just trying to go
Quietly,
for it.
yeah. They've been able to get 2 really important rounds off the back of that tactic. I think Rez will have that in his back pocket in case they get in some danger. 2-round lead. 2 more chances for OG. They had 2 in regulation. They have 3 here in overtime.
Focus right now for Alexi, no doubt. If you have any more tricks up your sleeve, then now is really the time for it. You just need 2 more rounds here, and you could at least extend this into double OT and reset the clock a little bit once again. Flames going for the fight. Yeah, he wanted it. He had the right idea.
I don't think he spotted Hampus along the wall. It looked like there might have been an opportunity. Okay, we are going to get it this round. Here's that timing. And once again, here's the weakness. S-Tag is the only defender here. He's playing from the donut choke point. Rez is hustling over. They have mid control so he can get directly into the A bomb site. And he's actually finding a pretty darn good timing.
Yeah, it's not bad. Smokes are up, blocking out everybody. S-Tag's in that corner, but he can't see anything, and they hunt him down. Nice shot, but the return is even better. Rez and Hampus get a kill each. The bomb is being planted, sure, but they do have that 1-man advantage. Molotovs are everywhere, and Hampus, he's kind of lucky to be alive.
No more utility for OG as well. They're stuck in these positions. They have nothing to move out, and Alexi is going to close and wrap around from the flank.
Yeah, Flames, he almost has to fight right now. He's going to get shot in the back. I don't think they realize yet, but they're going to find out right now. Nexa is on his own, 1 versus 3. They know where he is as well. Good headshot from Brolin, and NIP finding 17.
Rez gets there just at the perfect moment to actually have an impact. That 1 extra kill he gets on the entrance after they spam down S-Tag was absolutely massive, and with no more utility and with everything fading, there's nowhere for OG to go. Alexi's coming from A main, so NIP knows that's clear. They've got 2 to 3 bodies in Donut, they know that's clear. They had Rez over in the Temple, they knew that's clear. The only way you can do is actually push towards CT spawn or sit in the bomb site, and those are no winning options.
Yeah, really, really nicely done. In spite, I think the timing for OGs, it makes a lot of sense. Like they knew there were two people in middle. They had the sense. They knew the Molotovs were in there. So they're like, all right, let's try and go right now. And it didn't quite work out. Last round of overtime. NIP doing whatever they can to hold on to this map a little while longer. They just don't want to let it go right now. That's a failed nade for Brolin, unfortunately. Doesn't do him any real damage. I guess that's good. Another one coming out here. This one will land nicely.
Yeah, pretty decent chip damage on a Neofrag in Flames. OG once again just pushing in and making sure there's no aggression in A main from NIP. And I think NIP's thinking that OG is going to exploit the same weakness of that A bomb site. They've got two players, Hampus and S-Tag and Donut. They've got Rez opping deep. They even have Alexi B just falling back to pick up some utility in CT spawn. Would have been there for the rotation. Now with this kind of a setup, the B defense itself might be a little bit weak with Brolin and Alexi playing far back, but they can flank and take mid control as soon as the bomb site is attacked and have a very quick wraparound.
Is Hampus going to go through the smoke in the middle to get there? It's crazy if he does. They do need somebody over here at the B bomb site. You can see S-Tag staying a long way back, and Hampus is going to stay honest in that donut. 30 seconds now.
They have no information on IP. They're just going to have to let this execute happen. Smoke is go up.
Yeah,
That's a miss smoke as well that Brolin can try and utilize.
very delayed on that bomb plant. Oh, this is getting very, very awkward now for OG. They lose Neofrag before the bomb is even down, and this plant might almost get stopped. That is really close.
Look at the HP.
Yeah, they're very, very low. Dexter's got that AWP back there somewhere, but...
Two flashbangs as well might be even more important.
Yeah, you're right. They could set up a really, really good retake here. Dexter on the ramp. There's one flash going high. It doesn't really do anything. They catch flames as well. And this peak, a lot of people are going to be fighting him. Nice headshot. They don't need anything. Clean retake. Nobody dies, and we are going to go to a double overtime.
And the big conversation yesterday for OG was missed opportunities and letting your opposition off the hook. They've had 5 chances to close out this map. 2 in regulation, 3 here in overtime, and they have failed them all. They are giving NIP as many chances as possible to steal this map away. Overtime number 2.
And the stakes just keep going up, right? Because whatever team loses this map is suddenly going to be really impacted going into the second map. It just feels like such a lot of energy goes into it when you're playing
This has been a really stressful back and forth, grindy, difficult map. So yeah, there's that. And also, I mean, the element of this is an elimination game at the fall finals. And not just an elimination game in the sense of the tournament, but this, for these guys, could end their year.
Yeah.
This could be the last game you play in.
Yeah, you're going to have all Christmas thinking about every round that you gave up. That's not great. Nobody wants that. Neofrag goes down in return, but Flames was there quick in the middle with a really great fight to take down Alexi. So that's the kind of stuff you want on this map, to have one player on the T side that can just open up the middle like that. S-Tag playing this deep corner, which has become more popular. More people are looking for it. Flames didn't look like he was, but somehow he gets the fight anyway. That was his 30th kill right there.
Early warning system, though. Hampus is able to shift over, get the off angle, and tell his teammates nobody's out. Nobody's swinging into the bomb site just yet. They're not applying pressure off that kill. 1 minute, and OG can really make NIP sweat. They can start thinning out this defense. One of Brolin or Rez is going to have to fall back and actually keep eyes on middle. It's Hampus instead who does it.
Oof, look at this. Yeah, they're saying... Let's hope that smoke is enough that it's gonna, dissuade them from going to the A bomb site.
Yep, delay smoke at A. Hampus checks middle. That gives time for Rez and Hampus.
Oh yes, one more. That's crazy. They almost have to go through. They're gonna go for it. Only 30 seconds. Nearly caught with a nade in hand. Gotta be real careful now. And Fiku finds the headshot. So good effort for Hampus to slow this down, buy time for the teammates to get there, but he just doesn't have the firepower or the utility. Probably needed a smoke and a Molotov to even try to hold them back. And NIP now. What do you do?
This is the round that OG would have loved to have had.
Yeah.
In any of the 3 previous.
Yeah, a little bit earlier. That would have done it.
They're going to go for it.
Yeah, with the overtime cash. Gonna try and see if you can land it. There's Fiku gone down, but still 3 players left. All right, well done from Rez. That double kill is pretty huge.
Oh, no.
Straight onto the defuse.
Oh, no.
Trying to get it done, but the knife was out, and they're going to stab him with less than half a second left. Oh, God.
I felt that coming. I felt it building up.
Wow.
What a find. You could almost see that working. My word. OG have a round on the board. Nice job from Flames. Nice entrance. I mean, everything is... Hampus does actually a pretty damn good job. Does just about everything you possibly could in that situation to delay, to harass, to buy time for his teammates.
Oh, see, Flames is at it again. He really likes these mid-fights, and he wins them. What a headshot to bring down Hampus. He is an expert at exactly that on this map. And you could tell why. I'm gonna give him the AWP because he's very low on health, but that's twice now that he's opened up the middle in double OT. That's huge.
And you think about how much T-sides have struggled and labored at various times. If you're NIP, it's going to start making you feel real nervous if OG can get a second T round in overtime. They find the equalizing kill. They want to go investigate in middle. Timing is everything. Fiku chooses not to be aggressive. He's going to lurk. Look for a push as OG wait outside the B bomb site. But I mean, NIP have so much information at the moment. They have mid control, they have B lane control. S-Tag's going to be here as well.
Ooh, that's interesting. Trading smokes, one of them going down deep in the A bomb site, all the way towards CT spawn. So that's, again, a little bit of an attempt to try and sell something, but when NIP have this much control, they're going to know. They realize what's coming. Oh, what a catch, though. Alexi trying to beat that smoke going through.
Oh, nice
Rez
shot.
with a clutch shot to take down Flames. And S-Tank going to be dropping Fiku as a follow-up. Still a 2-on-3. 30 seconds on the clock here in Rez. He's not going to miss that one. Nexer is out of it, and it's all on Dexter. No bomb plant and a 1 versus 3. And he has to face that AWP on the other side. Very tricky. Gets legged, and then he gets taken down. What a round from Rez.
Yeah, that's some awesome opping from Rez. You love to see that. That's a huge playmaking that Rez does around that smoke. It's sort of an aggressive and ties things up at 19.
Close to getting that
That
double.
shot's amazing.
Yeah. The timing as well between the smoke popping. Couldn't have got any closer, really. All right. Last round of the first half of the second overtime. And Flames a little bit more conservative, just putting shots through, but he still did connect with Hampus. And he could be trying to... You talked earlier in regulation, I think it was, about that change with trying to hit the A-bomb side. Basically what they're trying to do again here, it looks like.
Yeah, every time they've kind of felt like they needed a round, right? They feel like this A-bomb site has some openings and opportunities, and they're not wrong. They've gotten a number of rounds off it. They've been able to find the opening kills off it, and once again, success coming out of Donut. Hampus can do nothing now. S-Tag does stop the bomb plant, which is nice.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Neofrag is miles away over at the B bomb site. They're going to get the bomb planted finally, and some more trades coming in, but that late lurk from Neofrag. Why? They need to stay alive. They're fighting so early, way before Neofrag get put into play, and that's forcing his hand. And now Dexter's gone down, and the question is, can he really win this 1 versus 3? They're looking for him, and they read it. Rez with a good shot. I don't think that's on Neofrag at all. I think that has to be on the rest of OG. They needed to slow that down just a bit more.
They were really, really scrappy in that round. Now, fair play, I think they were kind of forced into it because NIP was sending bodies through smokes to try and stop that plan as much as possible. So in the chaos of the situation, OG might have just lost themselves. But you got to say, give some credit over to Rez. That's back-to-back triple kills with the AWP in those 2 rounds of overtime. Or double overtime, I should say. Big time step up.
What a time to come alive, yeah.
Good time to recover as well after OG had picked up the first T round in second overtime. You don't want any more than that with how much the T sides have struggled throughout this series, or throughout this map.
New role for Rez in many ways. I guess maybe not brand new, but obviously not what he's used to be doing with the AWP. So NIP, if they could get 2 more rounds here, really start to get into a good position.
30 kills on S-Tag, Hampus, and Rez.
All right. Maybe a little bit early, but good mid control here for NIP. They can actually just kind of walk in and take it if they smoke up top mid, which is kind of rare for the T side to be able to get this much early.
Those trios, man. Hampus, S-Tag, and Rez, 90 kills. Flames, Fiku, and Dexter, 91 kills. These three-man groupings for each team are just doing work.
Just a massive push towards the middle, but shots coming through the smoke. I can't believe it. They lose Brolin before they even get in here. And Dexter's realizing there is a weakness. He could get shot in the back. Rez continues to impress in the overtimes. Dexter's going to find a shot, but he's on fire, and eventually Hampus will be the one to bring him down. And he's still fighting it out. An amazing triple coming through from him, and the round has been won. NIP answering back in a massive way.
Yeah, and I think that's the first time in this entire game we've seen NIP attack middle in that kind of a fashion with any real conviction behind it. I think occasionally we've seen Hampus try and lurk it. Maybe Alexi move up and try and lurk it at different points. But this time sending bodies, and that's something OG probably just didn't expect. They haven't seen it for whatever it's been, 40 rounds. Now, remember, OG, 5 chances to close out this map in regulation and first overtime. They failed all of them. NIP have 2 opportunities here.
And winning just one of those rounds on the T side, man, what a difference it makes. They're going to try and change the pace again, but this time towards the B-bomb side. And a quick leg shot and a little bit of rifle damage to follow it up. It's still an even trade, and they're happy with it. And why wouldn't they be? 3 on 3 with 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, the only big issue for NIP right now is no smokes, but there's a lot of counter utility being used by OG as well, and early utility, so both teams going to be limited on nades with 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock. And how does Nip want to readjust? Hampus is going to move around and do his solo play. He's got no utility, so it's all on him to do his own thing and see if he can pull the defense, shift the defense, and create an opening for Hampus and, or excuse me, for Rez and S-Tag.
The pressure's got to be on OG as well. I mean, right now they're sort of standing still a lot of the time, but
Hampus is coming back. He actually just looked for pushes.
yeah.
But I mean, that's just to look for any deep flanks. He's not looking for any pushes in middle, so I mean, they still have no idea what they're about to run into, and it's a nice, dangerous crossfire setup at the B-bomb site.
But, you know, even waiting the minute that they have now, it's at least brought Fiku back to the A-bomb side. He has to stay honest. So if they would have pushed right away, they would have been a straight-up 3-on-3. So even the time that they've wasted here, it's still giving them a 2-on-3 at least that they can find in this bomb site.
It's all down to timing. Oh, that smoke is nasty.
Yeah.
What a smoke from Nexa.
That's actually a massive problem.
They'll have to go through it, I think. There's going to be, what, like 5-6 seconds left when it clears?
It's very, very risky if you don't do it. You could easily just lose the bomb in the wrong corner and you're going to be out of it. 8 seconds here. Comes the push and the opening. S-Tag finds the shot. 4 seconds and they get the headshot on Flames. I can't believe it. What a double opening. S-Tag at 33, finding a triple kill to enter the B-bomb side with. And that's probably it here. There's nothing Fiku could do, surely.
This is NIP's first chance to close out the map. They spotted OG 5, and they shut him down on their own opportunity. Double overtime victory for NIP. A grinding, stressful affair, but Nip survive it. They're up 1-0 in the series. An elimination series, the Blast Fall Finals, and we'll be back for map 2.